Coming up on Network Africa, Ivorian court hands over life sentences to 11 people for their parts in the 2016 jihadist attack. South Sudan announces deployment of 750 soldiers to Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Plus, United Nations Secretary General delivers New Year message to the world, urging the restoration of peace. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. I'm Joke Rogers here in Lagos. We begin at the courts today where an Ivorian court has sentenced 11 people to life in prison for the jihadist attack in the resort town of Grand Bassam in March 2016, which resulted in the deaths of 19 people, including Europeans. Of the 11 convicts, who are all Malians, 7 were not present in court to hear the verdict. The remaining 4 who were present were accused of complicity in the attack by helping those considered to be the masterminds. They deny the charges. Meanwhile, the Ivorian court also issued an international arrest warrant for Kunta Dalla, who was described as the brains of the attack in Grand Bassam. The March 13, 2016 attack hit the tourism sector in the country, already weakened by the 2010 to 2011 post-election crisis that left some 3,000 people dead. Over in South Sudan, the country has announced the deployment of 750 soldiers to Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Heavy fighting in recent months between DRC forces and M23 rebels prompted the East African community to deploy a joint regional force that includes forces from Kenya, Burundi, and Uganda. At a ceremony in the capital Juba, South Sudanese President Salva Kiir urged the soldiers to keep the order and protect civilians. Meanwhile, the South Sudan's Defense Minister, Angelina Teny, has reaffirmed the importance of the mission, which is to bring peace to the region and stability to Congo and all its border areas. The announcement of the deployment comes barely 4 months after thousands of fighters were integrated into South Sudan's army, a key condition of a peace deal to end the country's brutal civil war. In the meantime, Rwanda has accused neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo of violating its airspace by flying a fighter jet over its territory. The accusation comes amid growing tensions between the two countries after the DRC accused Rwanda of backing the rebel M23 group, which has resumed fighting in eastern DRC. The United Nations and the United States have also said they believe Rwanda backs the M23 group. In November, the Democratic Republic of Congo apologized after one of its fighter jets, which was unarmed, briefly flew over Rwanda. It said the overflight was an accident and that the plane had been on a reconnaissance mission. However, the DRC is yet to respond to the recent accusation of the alleged overflight by Rwanda. In the meantime, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has reiterated the need for peace in the coming year, 2023. He made the call in his New Year message, where he called for peace to be at the center of all dialogues, actions, and aspects of life.
2022, prepare for a brighter day. In 2022, millions of people around the world literally swept out ashes. From Ukraine to Afghanistan, to the Democratic Republic of the Congo and beyond, people left the ruins of their homes and lives in search of something better. Around the world, 100 million people were on the move, fleeing wars, wildfires, droughts, poverty, and hunger. In 2023, we need peace now more than ever. Peace with one another through dialogue to end conflict. Peace with nature and our climate to build a more sustainable world. Peace in the home so women and girls can live in dignity and safety. Peace on the streets and in our communities with the full protection of all human rights. Peace in our places of worship with respect for each other's beliefs. And peace online, free from hate speech and abuse. In 2023, let's put peace at the heart of our words and actions. Together, Let's make 2023 a year when peace is restored to our lives, our homes, and our world.
We're in South Africa now, where families of the two teenage boys who were assaulted at the Masselport resort on Christmas Day say they intend to institute civil proceedings against the alleged attackers. Attorney Zola Majavu, who is representing the families, says that they intend to sue for financial reparations and other reliefs. This comes after the teenage boys were allegedly being assaulted by a group of white men at the resort's swimming pool. Meanwhile, the third suspect in the Christmas Day alleged racial attack is expected to appear in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court today. The 48-year-old suspect will face a charge of attempted murder after he allegedly attempted to drown one of the teenagers in the swimming pool. Two other accused, aged 33 and 47, have been released on a warning following their court appearance on Wednesday. However, their case has been postponed to January 25th, 2023. For more on this, let's bring in our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia. Hello, Betty.
Hello, Joke. Good to see you.
Same. So talk to us about that racial attack at the Masselport resort. We understand that two suspects have been released and a third suspect was arrested and will be charged with attempted murder. What really went down?
Well, just an update on that. The third suspect already appeared in court at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court today, and he was granted bail to the tune of 20,000 rand. That's about 900,000 naira. Because according to his lawyers, he posed no flight risk. He has no pending case, and he hasn't been convicted of anything before. And the state didn't oppose bail, so he's out on bail for 20,000 rand. He's also going to appear on the 25th of January with the other accused in that incident. Now, during the festive periods, a lot of people go away from home to the resorts. There's so many in the country. And we keep recording these incidents, apart from the ones that dot the whole year, but most of the time, festive periods. So there were a group of people swimming. They were white. And now these young boys, two brothers, wanted to swim, and they were prevented by one of the men, a white male. Then the scuffle kind of started. More white men, much older than these boys, joined in, and the Jacobus or Cobus Klassen, who was charged today, was seen with his two hands around the neck of one of the boys. They didn't, and then one of the men dragged one of the boys, the other boy, into the pool, joined by another white male, much older, and they sort of immersed him for a period. They according to one account, they claimed that the pool was for whites only. And it was quite sad because the resort owners of the management, the Masselsport resort, they released the CCTV footage of what actually happened. Because the other side, that's the accused now, claimed that a 3-year-old was about to be hurt in the pool. There was nothing like that in that video. So we know that the younger people don't take a lot of things lying down. They fought back, and more older men joined in that scuffle, saying they're not supposed to swim, that is reserved for white people. Quite sad, so many years, after the end of apartheid. We know that many things regarding apartheid still exist and they're still fighting it. But it was quite sad seeing that. And thanks to social media, the appropriate outreach has followed the conduct. But that's what happened.
Right, so a lot has really been happening in South Africa apart from this case. Let's switch to another issue. It seems the South African president is moving a step ahead of former President Jacob Zuma by filing papers at the Gauteng High Court. Talk to us about this urgent application by President Ramaphosa to stop Mr. Zuma's private prosecution bid.
Well, the president had filed another asking the court to set aside, earlier in the week, I think, as after the appeals for him to withdraw the summons and his the process of going ahead with this case, saying that so the president, now that case is supposed to come up on the 19th of January. I guess the implications if it goes ahead. So the president now filed this urgent application for an interdict, to stop the former president from going ahead with that court case on the 19th, and also to exempt him from appearing in person, stating the application, this current application, over 200 pages of many reasons why it shouldn't go ahead, why it's unlawful, and he's also requesting punitive costs, for against Mr. Zuma in his application. He's shooting for the 10th, for this to be brought to the 10th ahead of that 19th application. We know what the former president is accusing him of. Some find it ridiculous, but I guess he's exercising all his rights, legal rights, which the current president has accused him of abusing legal court processes. But he is persisting. He's saying that he's going to file a counter application against this current one. It was brought during the long holiday, and he says the President Ramaphosa is not playing fair by bringing it during the holiday when he can't get a hold of his legal team because everyone is on holiday. But he's saying he's going ahead to file a counter application regarding this. So the background of the story we all know is him accusing the president of not doing anything with his complaint. His allegation is that the advocate prosecuting his case, the corruption case going on in Itamaritsburg, which is coming up again next year, the allegations of improper conduct. He accused Mr. Billy Downer, that's Advocate Billy Downer, and a journalist, Karen Moore, who he accused Billy Downer of showing private medical records. Whether there is merit to this, we're still waiting to find out. But we know the background to this. The former president is very unhappy with the current president. I guess he feels betrayed, and he's doing everything to try to probably pull him down like he was pulled down. But we're waiting to see what the courts will say regarding this urgent application, and if the basis on which former President Zuma placed this will ride, because he's holding on to the non-prosecute certificate from the NPA, which doesn't cover President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Right, so one more issue just before I let you go. You were live at the ANC annual conference, which held just recently. Now, the president has been accused of vote buying. Did you sense any foul activity while, covering that event? Or is it just another attempt to put the president's political future online?
With politics, if anybody buying or selling will not do it in public. So we may not say, all we know is that a lot of negotiation went on, a lot. A lot could have gone wrong and a lot went well for some people. But this followed, but I can tell you that it's dead in the water already, because the person who wrote the protest letter or the complaint has denied being the author of that letter. So the committee that had been tasked to look into it has dropped the issue, because no one is coming up to claim, oh, it was me who brought up this complaint. But it follows an interview by the chairman who has been re-elected, Mr. Gwede Mantashe, who was speaking on local media saying that he heard about one of the candidates for Treasurer General, who incidentally is an advisor to President Cyril Ramaphosa, being accused of vote buying or offering people money to vote for him. He didn't win. And then following that interview, we heard about this letter allegedly from a delegate from KwaZulu-Natal, which didn't do quite well during that conference. But it's already dead in the water. It's been dropped because no one has claimed authorship of that letter.
Right. Thanks again, Betty, for that update.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the program. Still in South Africa, an uneasy calm is in place in the Benoni area east of Johannesburg for some Nigerians following a series of attacks by a group of local taxi operators who claim some Nigerians are peddling drugs there and destroying their lives, the lives of the youths. Eyewitnesses say not every Nigerian business has come under attack, but a number of people have been wounded and one person died of his wounds last week. Nigeria's Consul General, Mr. Andrew Idi, has intervened in the crisis and has issued a movement advisory to Nigerians in the area to be cautious and to go out only when necessary.
The streets seem calm now, but it's been a hectic few weeks for some Nigerians in the Benoni Business District, 45 minutes from central Johannesburg. The pictures are disturbing, and a 44-year-old Nigerian has died of his injuries from assault. They saw a group of angry Nigerians besieging the Benoni police station, a situation that would have ended badly if not for the intervention of the Consul General and the police leadership.
The local community in Benoni claims that Nigerians in the some Nigerians in the community were destroying their youths, especially their girl children, with drugs and bringing them into the prostitution industry, and they were not happy. In addition, they also complained that the situation has worsened to the point whereby Nigerians are now receivers of stolen property. They send their small kids, young boys, to go steal property to come sell to them. They complained to the police authorities. Nothing serious was done. So at the end of the day, they decided to resort to self-help.
They just beat someone now. Another Nigerian guy.
Adewale Oguntayo, whom can be heard in that eyewitness video, runs a business in the community.
They now started identifying the dealers, like the drug sellers, saying, no, we now finish with the users. So now it's the turn of the sellers. So that the sellers also have to be disciplined.
I understand it's not everybody that they were attacking.
Yes, ma'am. It's not everyone that they are attacking. I think they got their own, as I said earlier on.
Like it's not every Nigerian.
Yeah, not every Nigerian, to be precise. Anyone that they suspect dealing with drugs, then they will attack the person and tell them that, listen, you must stop. It started with discipline, beating and assaulting and things like that. But now it was just unfortunate that Ugoshiku died in the process of the assault.
We've had no success in our effort to speak with the Benoni Taxi Association, but they sat at a situation meeting with the Nigerian Consul General, the police, the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, and some leaders of the Nigerian community.
During the meeting, the leaders made commitments to end the attacks. And the meeting ended well because we decided as an outcome to establish a Benoni first community relations.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a permanent thing to meet periodically. And the objective is it will serve as a bridge to enhance and promote inter-community harmony, to end the ongoing attacks, as well as a platform for early warning and information sharing. Those were the objectives. That forum is already established. We're trying to get the necessary Nigerians to represent the community.
The next meeting of the peace grouping, called Benoni First, is the 18th of January 2023. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Consulate General has released a movement advisory to Nigerians in Benoni to stay off the streets and be security conscious while efforts continue to end the attacks. A murder case has also been opened over the death of Chinwoko Ugochukwu. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
Our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia once again giving us an update on a developing story there. We move on to Senegal now, where citizens are angry and are seeking answers to the mismanagement of COVID-19 funds. And that's why Senegal's main opposition coalition, Yewi Ask and We, has called for a concert of pans on New Year's Eve as the president addresses the nation. A report by Senegal's Court of Auditors revealed that the nation's response fund against the effects of COVID-19, which held 1 billion euros, was subject to mismanagement and criminal offences. According to MP Chik Tiadani Yum, 1,000 billion was put on the table to fight COVID to save the Senegalese, and during that time, the money that was intended to prevent deaths, some ministers shamelessly and unscrupulously used the funds like thieves. The audit of expenditures in 2020 and 2021 also revealed that about 28 million euros spent by various ministries was not spent on COVID-19 at all. This announcement has sparked rage and resentment among Senegalese, thereby calling for the New Year's Eve demonstrations. And finally on the program, the China builds Mombasa-Nairobi standard gauge railway after 5 years of safe operation has not only brought the most convenient means of transportation to East Africa, but also gradually changed the traveling habits of locals. The 480-kilometer railway, which connects Mombasa, the largest port in East Africa, and Nairobi, the capital city, offers locals an alternative choice for their daily travel, especially during the upcoming New Year's travel rush. Kenya has seen a huge uptick in passengers on the railway as year-end and New Year holidays approach. For many locals, the China-built railway offers a more safe and comfortable fast option than traveling by car or by plane.
This time round, we prepare for more passengers by maximizing on the capacity that we have. We have handed additional 4 coaches, that is 3 economy class and 1 first class. This reflects to an addition of around 426 passengers for every trip in the 6 pairs of trains that we have every day.
Of course, it is more convenient, but also the experience of, it's our first time. We're moving as a family, so we chose SGR over a bus and over the plane.
Well, that's it on Network Africa. Thank you for watching. I'm Jackie Rogers.